Okay, so I'm so excited to have Rachel and Shawn Wisser and Nicole and Tracy on here tonight. Tracy and I are Triple Diamonds. We are going to be interviewing Rachel, who's also Triple Diamond, Shawn, who's Double Diamond, and Nicole, our newbie, Ruby. And it's so exciting because she went Ruby in less than 90 days. And I'm just so excited to be able to pour into you guys and to be able to learn from you guys. And I think the wonderful thing about this business is no matter what rank you are in this business, you're always learning. So I love doing these because even the one that we did recently, I learned from being a triple diamond, I learned from a Ruby, an amazing tip that I put into effect, and it's already starting to see some great results. So we're just going to dive right in. So Mr. and Mrs. Ice Cream Eaters over there. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about your story, how you guys got started in this business. How'd you hear about this business? And then if you guys will tell a little bit of your love story, because it just touches my heart when I hear it every time.
Cool. You want me to go first? Okay, so I'll try to keep it a little bit short because there's definitely a lot to my story. But hello, guys. I'm Rachel, and Megan is awesome. She's so awesome for hosting this Zoom. I love when people merge teams and do trainings. It's so one team, one mission that our company has. So it's really cool that we get to do this. But when I started, it was about 4 years ago, and I was super busy working 3 jobs and going to school full-time in college. And I was doing bartending and serving and nannying and stuff. And I just really was kind of feeling lost, honestly, and stressed and kind of just the whole shebang of the broke college student story. I had transferred schools multiple times, so I didn't really know what I wanted to do or for my major and stuff like that. And I came across this business on Facebook from a random post from a girl that I had only met one time, and she was pretty much a stranger. So I just dove in completely head first. I was like, you know what? It's a good time in my life to just try it. I'm sick of seeing other people who are in their 20s. I was 22, almost 23 at the time. And I just felt like I was ready for something new. And my mindset was okay, I see this income chart of people are clearly making thousands of dollars monthly with this, but I really I wasn't skeptical about the money because I knew that because of internet and social media, there's hundreds of opportunities where people could connect with tons of people online. I just didn't really know anything about network marketing. And so I had really low expectations. Okay, I'm only going to make $200 a month with this, hopefully. That was my mindset coming into this. Maybe I'll make a little bit of extra money, and really had super low expectations. But literally from just a little bit of hustle every single day and waking up after a couple months after joining, because I didn't really do much my first 2 months, but from using the products and then hearing stories on Zooms. We didn't even have Zoom, it was Google Hangout, but YouTube videos and listening to trainings and hearing people's stories, I started I just woke up. I started realizing wow, there are college students that are making 10, 20,000 a month with this. Why am I thinking that, people who are successful with this are only middle-aged women who have been doing this for 10 years? That was not the case. And my mind was just really becoming open to the possibility of taking this further than just making a couple hundred a month. And let me tell you guys, within 6 months, I was actually surpassing my income from my 3 part-time jobs that I did not like going to. So I was I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna quit my 3 jobs. And so that happened. And then a few months after that, got a really awesome diamond bonus, promoted to diamond in the company. That's an average of $2,000 a month. Literally so much happened, okay, in that first year and a half. And then, so this is I'm condensing so many different things. I ended up dropping out of school. It was just it just made sense at the time. I was thinking, okay, I could either put in another $20,000 to finish my degree, which would have taken me another 2 years. And the degree I would have gotten wouldn't be something that I was super passionate about. And the job opportunities within that degree that I would have gotten would have really put me at maybe $40,000 a year. So here I was as a diamond making about $2,000 a month, and I hadn't even scratched the surface of this business. I was I could literally turn this into a career and hit the top of the company and make 10 times the amount of money than what I could with a college degree. So I just decided after praying about it and thinking about it that I had found my calling, like even before this business came into my life, in college, I was searching for things with like natural remedies. And I was even looking into like dietetics for nutrition, but, really wanting it to be a super holistic approach. And so I kind of just realized like, well, I'm literally doing almost like health coaching with these products and recommending products to people as I would as a health coach anyway. So it just totally made sense for me. Everything aligned. And I truly like love doing this. So, okay. So kind of merging like our stories and like where Shawn came in the picture, because people think that like, people ask me like, well, was he on another team or something? Like, how did you guys meet? Because I always say like we met because of this business. And so I can just like turn it over to you.
Yeah. So my name's Shawn Wisser. Obviously, I'm Rachel's husband. So before I tell my story, I just want to say that, one of the biggest things that I enjoy so much about It Works is it's not the money, it's not the culture, it's not, just It Works as a whole. It's just people's stories, because everyone is so different and it's so unique, and it's amazing to be able to watch people from all different walks of life do this. Like when I first joined, Rachel was telling me how she went to a conference, I think, and she saw Amish people like
yes.
with little bonnets. I'm like, that's legit. Like people can do this. Like, so, but that leads me into my story, because my story is completely different than Rachel's story. It's completely different than your story, Megan, and everyone else's story. So embrace your story, embrace where you come from, embrace everything, because your story is what makes you you. So you should embrace it and use it and run with it. So my story, obviously our stories are life, but my main chapters in my life, I like to look at it as like the past couple years. So I've had a super hard upbringing as a child. My mom was addicted to heroin. I didn't even know my dad until I was 15. I was a foster child. I was homeless for a couple years. So I kind of like raised myself, and like it sounds cliche, but like I raised myself in the streets. And I hung around a lot of bad people, and that led me to becoming addicted to drugs and alcohol. I was sounds like it's different. Like I was a somewhat functioning addict. Like I still was able to go to work and like wake up and stuff. But, as soon as I got that paycheck on Friday, $800, by Sunday I had maybe $100 left to my name if I was lucky, because it all went up my nose, or all went, down my throat with alcohol, or in my lungs with marijuana, like, and so many other different things. So, all that happening, just kind of like led me to where I'm at today. So I don't regret any of it. And I just got asked the other day, like, if you could do anything different, what would you do? I said, absolutely nothing. No, without hesitation, because it made me into who I am today. Some of my closest friends, he's in jail right now. He's facing 10, 15, maybe 20, 30 years life because for attempted homicide. And that was the path that I was going down, coming face to face with people trying to rob us. And just, it was a crazy, crazy lifestyle. So
where you're from?
Pittsburgh. Steel City, yeah. So I don't care what anyone says, Pittsburgh's the best city, and we just trump every single one of you guys. But don't get me started. So, living that lifestyle led me to one day waking up super late from a night of partying, and I threw all my stuff, all my drugs, all my money, everything in my pockets. I got in my car and I took off because I had to be somewhere. And that's when you get caught up. So I was speeding down the road and a cop pulled me over, and I freaked out because one cop showed up, two cops showed up, K9 showed up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I stuffed my stuff under my seat, and he found it and took me to jail. And they weren't nice about it either. I had a watch on, my wrists were all cranked and turtled. They threw me in the back of the cop car, and they treated me like a dog. Like when I went to the holding cell, they stripped me pretty much naked. I was down in my underwear, and it was a very degrading, demoralizing thing. And I was sitting there looking at the bars, like, can I get out of here? Nope. I remember shaking the bars, like, I'm not getting out of this joint. So, and the bench is ice cold. It's metal. Like, you have a metal toilet. Like, take your guys' toilets for, like, love your toilets, because these things in jail, they're not fun. So I was sitting there and I'm like, looking at all the graffiti, and I'm like, this is some people's lives for the rest of their life. They make one mistake, one bad mistake, and then they don't have a second chance. But I had a second chance because it was my first offense. It was the first time I've ever gotten seriously in trouble. So I used that as a change. I had to walk 2.5 hours to the impound yard to get my car, and that was a long walk, and I had a lot of time to think, and I was just ashamed of myself, and everyone's calling me like, Shawn, what's going on? Like, word spread really fast, and my name got just trampled on and everything. So long story short, I had to do drug and alcohol classes, pay off a bunch of fines, and that led me to replacing my current addiction with another addiction, but it was a good addiction. It was rock climbing. And I went rock climbing every single day of my life for months and months and months. And then I was like, well, I want to travel the world and climb rocks. That's all I want to do. That was my idea of success. I was like, but how am I going to do that? How am I going to make money? To me at the time, making money online was a foreign thing. I didn't even know it existed. So, but I was familiar with like different other network marketing companies that at the time I just wrote off as a pyramid scheme. Like I was that guy. I was super skeptical. Like I saw these things. I was like, there's no freaking way. And like Rachael and I, some way in Facebook land, we became friends. And I saw her posting stuff and posting about a $20,000 bonus and just all this stuff. And I was like, you're hot, but like you're lying, like you're scamming people, like it's not legit. Like I couldn't fathom that a company could pay someone a $40,000 bonus, like that someone could make hundreds of thousands of dollars in 30 days, in a month. Like I could not fathom that. Like it was over my brain. It was not within my mental capacity. So I just wrote it off as a scam. I was that person, but along the line of seeing Rachael post more and more, what I really wanted was the time and freedom. And I realized that she had it. Like she was able to post that and that's why it's important to post, because she was posting. I'm like, this is not real. But then she posted one day about being able to have the freedom to take her mom to a doctor's appointment in the middle of a Wednesday, and she took a shower in the middle of the day. And I was like, for me, something is like, it might sound bad, but something as silly and stupid and random as that was like the green flag for me. Excuse me. And, from that moment on, I was just like, So I was a little interested in like Rachael, and I saw her bio, said retired at 24. And I was like, okay. So then here comes the next obstacle. I was like, how can I get this girl's attention without being blocked or put into the,
looking like a creep.
Looking like a creep, like leave me alone type of person, So I sat for like 2.5 hours, and I guess this is what like leads into like our love story, if that's still what you want to hear. So I sat there for like 2.5 hours.
We're all girls, of course they want to hear.
Yeah, I'm probably the only dude here, but it's all right. It's good. So I sat there for about 2.5 hours, and I was like, thinking what to say, typing it out, backspacing. And I was literally that one moment I was like, what's your secret? That's the best thing I could come up with. So, tell it to your boyfriends, like, what's your secret? That's it. It works, I guess, apparently. So I asked her what her secret was, and she's like, what are you talking about? And then that just led to, the gateway to everything else. We talked about the business for about 15 minutes, and the next 3 hours was spent just talking about life. And
I have to say this part too. We like talk about this all the time, how funny it was. So like, I'm like, our team hears me saying like, oh, use voice messaging because it's just awesome and personal. So he asked, and he was not like, I was totally waiting for that moment of him trying to be like kind of flirty, because like guys will do that stuff sometimes. They'll try to like use the business to like talk to you, and like we see right through it. So I was kind of like, okay, the second that I get that vibe, like I'm just not, and because I was not looking for a boyfriend, and he wasn't looking for a girlfriend or anything either. Like we both were at the time were just like, we want to be like super single, like for a very long time. And so I voice messaged him, and then he said he didn't even know that Facebook could do voice messaging. So what did you say? You were listening to it? Like, what is she doing?
I was confused. I was like, what? I was like, what did I say? I was like, if you want to just call me instead of talking to your phone, you can do that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So it worked.
Yeah. So we talked about the business on the phone for like 20 minutes, and he was very respectful. He really wasn't trying to like jab in any flirtatiousness. He was being very like professional and serious, and we were just having this like business conversation, and he's just asking, well, what are like you were saying about
what's the catch?
Yeah, you're like, well, what's the catch? And like, what is the pay levels and what's the percentages? And, like guys think in that terms of like, he's not asking like, well, how much support will I get? Like, he's a guy. They want to like know the money. So that was the first like 20 minutes. But then I don't know what happened. Somebody said something and then we just ended up talking for like 2.5 hours on the phone.
But what really sold me like on the business as a whole, because keep in mind, I was super skeptical. Like, I did not believe in this stuff. I thought it was just a giant scam, a pyramid scheme. Like, I knew nothing about it. And the one thing that sold me on it, literally the one thing that sold me on it, was Rachael. I remember getting off the phone and thinking about it, and I'm like, well, she's not trying to sell me anything or get my money, so how could she be possibly trying to scam me? She literally, it was just a friendly relationship. Literally, just a friendly relationship, like building a relationship. And that's literally the one thing that sold me on this business. And, I promoted, to Ruby and then Emerald and then Diamond and got like $12,500 in bonuses. And, and then now we're doing this together. And like, and to top it all off, like this business and Rachael and then everyone else in the business's testimonies, like it's brought me closer to God. Like, and I credit God 110,000% to everything success-wise in this business. Rachel's pushing for triple and I'm just moral support. And literally in moments like I said, you're pushing for triple.
We were? Or
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you need some ice cream?
Yeah.
No, but I was moral support, and I was, just trusting God, trusting God. And it worked, it happened. I'm not gonna lie, there's moments of doubt. I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna happen, but I just have to be strong for Rachael because she's busting butt, So if you guys have husbands or boyfriends on here, tell them that they need to start doing dishes. They need to start cooking. Like, I even offered to shave your legs for you while you're doing it. Like,
total joke. Not really. I was like, we're not doing that. That's funny.
Yeah, but that's pretty much my story. And, I just, like I said before, embrace your story, because that's what makes you guys you.
And then I also want to say something else too. You should tell them about the emo stuff and how like all of that kind of connected within it.
Yeah, so it works like for, I don't know if there's any guys on here, but for all the girls, like obviously there's like a corporate, like Cindy has like a corporate women's retreat, I guess, but there's also like a men's retreat, but it's not corporate, but I think it's cooler because we get to do more stuff. But so basically I went last year, and Chad Kneller, he begged me, and I was like, nah, man, can't do it. Like, money, like, can't do it. Too much, like, stress.
This was like a month before we were getting married, and we still had like thousands, and like all of it was just like, we paid cash for our wedding, by the way, because of this business.
So we, after a lot of just thought and just praying to God, I said, fine, help me find a ride down there and I'll go. And I went to the men's retreat. It's called the men's retreat is just, a weekend of men, and we all get together and we, Joel gives tips about the business, and maybe Chad will give some tips, and other top leaders and other top men leaders in the business will just give their tips and their advice and stuff like that. But the biggest thing I took away from that is I walked away with 12 new brothers in Christ, and every Sunday we get on the EMA study, and we do our lessons, and we, do our quiet times, and it's helped me become a better man. And when they were talking to me about EMA book, I'm like, what's EMA? It's an acronym for Every Man a Warrior. So they described it to me in the best, simplest way. It's basically a life book for men to not suck at life as a man. And that's literally the best way you can put it. And it's done a good job, I think, so, and it's just amazing. It's helped me grow as a man. It's helped me just kind of like figure out my mind, and it's helped us in our marriage. It gives you pinpoint things like do this, and you'll be successful. So, and
there was 7 guys at the 9 guys.
8.
Like,
between 7 or 9, I can't remember, but we all got baptized too in the big murky muddy lake. It was fun. There's a video of it somewhere, but it was an amazing experience, and none of that would have happened if it wasn't for you ultimately, but this business and God. So
that's crazy.
I remember when I saw the picture of you guys getting baptized, and that was the first time that I kind of looked at this business in a completely different way of literally putting God first in this business, and with our business being Christian-based, family-owned. you can really tell the difference into it. But it was there's that one picture that's out there where it's like the guys are walking in the water and then like the guy who was baptizing them and everything. And I was just like, oh my God, like we have our hands on something so unique and so special. And I think we take it for granted sometimes because we're already in it, you know what I mean? But then when you really look and you dive into it deep and you really do see like the love that Cindy Pentecost has with pouring into the women of this business, Joel pouring in, Chad pouring in, Carrie's husband pouring in, like to the men of this business, and them empowering more men of faith to kind of lead that next step and everything. It's just amazing that we can help people. Literally, we're helping them with their health and wellness. We get paid for it, and we get basically encouraged to build our faith more. Like it's all in one. It's just incredible. But I'm so glad you guys shared that. And I wrote down just a couple pointers that you guys said that I want to just like mention, because I think that they need to be repeated because they're so good. And the first one was how you found out about this business was through Facebook and seeing, a post about Facebook, and which is just a reminder, we have to be posting on our page every single day, even those days. And I was a culprit of this. And I'm a true believer of when you point at somebody and you're telling them, don't do this or do this, you're pointing one finger at them, but 3 fingers are pointing back at you. So when I say like we need to be posting every single day, that also is to me, that's also to Rachael, it's also to Tracy, that's also to everybody in this entire chat, that it's so important because there's people watching us that we have no idea, because they may have not even told you that they're interested in this business, or they're just kind of needed to see the consistency of you posting and talking about your business. And just like Shawn said, it just took that one post. It was just that one post that just hit him right in the heart and was like, okay, I want to know more. And so just always be posting. And also what you said, Rachael, was you kind of took the initiative and watched those YouTube videos, watched the training videos, showed up to things, which is basically when you saw the vision of our company, was when you plugged in and you took the initiative and just kind of researched more. And I just like to encourage everybody, if you're not already on YouTube and watching videos, there's so many good trainings. Turn off your TV, turn off your Netflix, literally cancel your cable. I would say double dog dare you, but you can tell I have a kid. I dare you to turn off your, cancel your cable, spend that extra $40 and invest it back in your business. Or if it's a little bit more than that, because I know different places are different, and invest it back into your business and just start watching training videos. When you're in the car, listen to training videos, listen to a podcast, listen to a self-development, listen to a sermon, there's so many different things that we can do in our business that makes a huge difference by doing small things, just like instead of cable, watch a training video. And then Shawn, what you said with the stories, and I'm so glad that you kind of emphasized it. Go ahead, Kaden. Emphasized it with the stories is because everybody has a story. And what you were saying was just really embrace your own story. And if you don't have a story right now, it's okay, because you're creating your story right now. Because that was something that when coming to this business, I was like, all these people have these like crazy stories. Like, I don't have a story like that yet. And so if you don't have a story yet, it's okay. You're creating it literally in this moment. Yet find a leader, whether it's Rachael, whether it's Tracy, whether it's myself, whether it's another upline, whether it's somebody who just inspires you, and memorize their story and just repeat it over and over and over and over and over again. And what's going to end up happening is one day it's going to click, and instead of you telling their story, it's going to be you telling your story, and then other people are going to be starting to tell your story. So
can I like piggyback on that too for a second about the story? So this is, I feel like, a roadblock that a lot of new distributors in their first couple of months, they start doing the comparison game. Like, well, I'm not making $4,000 a month. So like, what the heck am I supposed to talk about? And when I think about like, okay, what was I actually posting about in those first few months? So like, there's 2 main things. And like these 2 things, if you guys follow these things, like it doesn't matter if it's your first day or if it's your 5,000th day in the business, you will definitely see some awesome traction in your business. So the first thing is using the products, because I think that was like when I was taking the greens and it was helping my psoriasis go away and it was helping me with like so many different things, I was just posting about that like so much. So I was not only offering, you know, the products when people would ask about becoming a customer, I started offering the business to them. And I was telling them like, I'm super busy and I'm in college, but I'm doing this on the side. They didn't care that I wasn't making a ton of money. That right there inspired them. And posting about the products, of course, but something really cool was whenever I made any type of money in the business, whether it was selling a wrap and making $25 or making my first $12 paycheck, which was my very first paycheck in the company was $12, you know, I would be like taking that and thinking, what is that money going to do for me? Okay, $12, that's gas money, right? Like that's almost half a tank of gas. So then like every other day it was, oh my gosh, I joined this business so scared. Now it's paying for gas money. Now it's paying for gas money. Now it's paying for gas money. And I was sharing that same story like multiple times a week. And because I was adding people every single day to my network, I didn't care, oh, what if people are annoyed that I'm sharing the same thing? No, I knew that different people were going to be seeing it every time. And then bam, second paycheck, $90. Whoa, what's this going to pay for now? Let's talk about that 4 times a week. So like that is what you got to think about, is just like staying consistent with the small wins and blowing up your Facebook about your small wins in your business. And that's when people are going to catch your fire.
So good. So good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go into like the question part of it. Are you guys ready? Okay, so first question I have for you guys is, what's one thing that was holding you back in this business and how'd you overcome it?
Go first.
You can go first.
The biggest, and I think it'll always be the biggest, not problem, but obstacle is myself. And I'm my biggest critic. I'm my biggest supporter. I'm my biggest skeptic, everything. And I think the best way that for me to overcome those things is just to spend conscious time trying to renew my mind and trying to get it to work in different ways, because, you know, a saying, you know, is our mind kind of works like a computer program. And if you're not the one programming it, someone or something else is, you know, so you got to take that time to, you know, even if you don't want to do it, there's so many times that like we don't want to do things, but we just have to do it. You know, we just have to buckle down, suck it up, and just do it. You know, so whether that's personal development or reading a book or listening to a sermon, like you said, like on my way to work this morning, I listened to a prayer video. You know, it was a 10-minute little video, but it helped set my day. You know what I mean? Like it helped me put me in that mindset of like, okay, this is what I need to do, and this is what I'm gonna do, and it helped me. It just projected me into a more successful morning than I would have had if I wouldn't have done anything. So
I love that. That's really awesome. And I completely agree with that too. And I think like for me, like, so like you guys know color personalities, like a lot of you guys do. So like I'm like 60% yellow, like 40% red. Like I've reflected on this a lot, and I've come to terms like that's pretty much my exact color personality. And so the yellow sometimes takes over the red when it comes to like group type of things. Like I'm very red when it comes to myself and the way that I talk to myself and the way that I just like, it's just that way. But when it comes to like group stuff, like the yellow starts to take over. And so let me explain that. My biggest struggle has truly been, especially probably in my first year, it was even more of a struggle than it is now. But having that blame on myself, or trying to blame myself for like people who are not working the business. And I don't know if you guys struggle with that. Like you can totally say if you struggle with that if you want, so that people feel like they're not alone. But I was so blinded to the fact that not everybody will do this. Like I seriously had the highest hopes for every single distributor that would join. And I didn't know how this whole industry worked. So if somebody quit, or if they left, or if they just stopped responding to me, it would like hurt me. I would literally feel so upset about it. And I just didn't understand. I truly thought it was something that I was doing or not doing. I would try to drag them along. I would literally just like people who were, maybe they were responding to me, but they weren't putting an ounce of effort into caring. They just didn't care about their business. And I cared about their business so much. So I'm trying to like drag them along. It took me so long to understand that I needed to just like let go of dead weight. Like it was the hardest thing for me to do. And I think that's when like the yellow would just take over, and I'm like, I just can't let it go. I can't let them go. Like they need this so bad. But here I was spending so much time trying to just make this person want something great for their future when they didn't even want it. And it wasn't until I started really listening to like Jim Rohn's stuff and like, oh, he's so good, you guys. Like, he's like the lifeline of my business. Literally, it wasn't until then that I understood that only like, I mean, literally, those maybe half of your team is like not really doing what you want them to do, and you have half that are really into this. Pour into the ones who really want this. Like, do not try to raise people from the dead. Don't try to like shake them and make them want this, because you will truly just be wasting your time. And so when I was listening to this concept and listening to like him talking about these things, I finally was able to just breathe and be like, okay, I don't have to blame myself when people quit this or don't respond to me, because that's not my responsibility. It's my responsibility to give them training to help them, but it's not my responsibility to drag them along. And it helped me so much.
That's so good, because I think that, like you said, a lot of people do struggle with that, of feeling like it's their fault or it's something that they did, but it's not. It's just some people want to work this business and some people don't. And I always say, and I think we've talked about this before, is I pray people in and I pray people out. And just like you said, you run with the runners and don't try to resuscitate those who are already gone. So that's so good. I'm so glad you guys shared that. Kind of goes hand in hand with what Shawn was saying. So with kind of yourself was what was in the way. So what type of self-development stuff do you guys do?
Oh gosh.
Do you have a favorite person who is kind of like your go-to when you need a little pump?
I think for me, I've noticed myself recently leaning more towards like very spiritual and like godly, biblical based like motivation and personal development. So for me, it's a YouTube channel called Lion of Judah, and they have just amazing motivation videos. So there's just so many different things, ranging like, start your morning this way, or start your day out with this, or end your day with this, or like just different categories, on how to renew your mind and just handle different things in life from a very biblical, standpoint. For me, I think that's my biggest one now currently. And are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. And a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's an awesome book, guys. I haven't even finished it yet because I'm on a chapter. And I'm just like, this is rough. It's not a hard read, but it's definitely it can be challenging at times. But it's so worth it, because it's just like with our business. Like, it might be a little rocky at times, but then you get to one point, you're just like, yes, and you just take off with it. And that's kind of how I feel about the book, is like, there's some parts where it's just like, this doesn't make sense, but then you have a breakthrough at the end, and it's just, talks about your subconscious mind, and it's literally thinking and growing rich. It's the law of affirmations, and just, positivity, and just what you think and say out loud, and you speak into the universe is things that you will receive. People always wonder, like, why does my life suck? Why does my life suck? Well, your life sucks because you keep saying your life sucks. So quit saying your life sucks. Yep. Like, I don't care if your life sucks. Like, say you could literally be walking around and then your foot's falling off. Just say, my life is great, and like your foot might magically grow back. So like just stuff like that. And that's just
a weird analogy.
I know, but it was just on the whim. It's the ice cream.
I think it's really cool that he's mentioning this, and I'm going to give you guys like my favorite self-development too. But the true science behind the book Think and Grow Rich, like, it's not some like magical voodoo that like blah blah blah. Our subconscious brain is so powerful that is what like controls literally every decision that we make, and we don't know that it's happening. That's why it's called the subconscious mind. So, but the beliefs that you have about things like money and your life and what you are worthy of receiving all comes from your subconscious mind. So get this, and this kind of goes into like my favorite self-development to give to you guys. I would highly recommend anybody to get the book Mach 2 with Your Hair on Fire. And let me put it in here. Kind of a weird title, I know, but Mach 2 is just basically like a super hyper speed. Like, I forget how many like miles an hour it is, but Mach 2 with your hair on fire. This dude literally became a millionaire with network marketing. But before then, he was working in like some chicken factory. And he just goes through his story, but then he really unpacks like the power of the subconscious mind and how to literally retrain your subconscious brain, which a lot of people don't even know is a thing. But for some reason, all of these successful people have this one piece of knowledge in common. And what he talks about is when you say things out loud, like what Shawn just said, how people say, my life sucks, so we can't afford that, or I'm just never going to do that, or like, that's just not realistic. When you say those things out loud, not thinking them out loud, your subconscious brain hears it and it puts another etch in the belief system. It puts another etch in the belief system. And so when you've done this over and over and over for years, and you've heard people in your family, in your inner circle saying the same things, and you're hearing this stuff, your conscious mind doesn't really know what to do with it, but your subconscious mind is literally putting it in its own belief system. So what he talks about, and he literally explains how he cracked the code to break his own belief system, is every single day, multiple times a day, he said things like, I am very successful. I attract money. I attract people who are successful. I am just saying these affirmations out loud. And doing that, when you say it out loud, your subconscious brain hears it and it starts to change its own belief system. And he said the first like week or two, you feel kind of weird. You almost feel like you're lying to yourself. You feel just like silly, but it's doing something to your subconscious brain. And he said, this is the secret. This is what happens, because when your subconscious mind starts believing things, you start making thousands of micro decisions every single day that lead you closer to your goal. And for all of you greens, that's the science behind it. It's not some voodoo magic where it's just going to appear. It's the science of when your belief system of your subconscious brain starts believing something, you're making millions of decisions throughout the day that you don't even know you're deciding. But when your subconscious brain believes a certain thing and knows that it has a goal to go to, it will literally make things happen for the decisions that you make that will make you closer to your goal throughout your day, if that makes sense.
That was so good. I felt like you guys were about to like start preaching. I'm over here like, come on, keep going. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys one last question, and then we're actually going to go ahead and shift over to Nicole. So Nicole, start getting ready. And Tracy's going to take over and interview and spotlight Nicole, which is so exciting. But last question for you guys. So what is one tip that you can give us for, and kind of I know it's going to be like an all-in-one, but for signing customers and signing distributors, if you can give us one tip for each of those. Sorry, he is literally a mini.
I want to know how that booger tastes earlier. I don't mean to call you out, but I'm kind of jealous.
The what? The what?
The booger.
Oh, you were picking your nose.
That's so
Right.
funny.
Mom life. Okay.
I think for me, it's going back to the roots of like what even got me into this business in the first place. And that was Rachael just being honest. That was Rachael being friendly. That was Rachael being lovely and just being herself. And I think most people like, I just seen a thing today by Eric Worre. He says, you know, treat this like a job and not a business. And it's like, I'm still trying to decipher like what exactly all that means. But it's just like people, I think like they get into this and they have like false expectations, or they just try to become someone that they're not, and they're not meant to be. And it backfires and then they get super discouraged and they're just like, oh, I suck. Like, and there you go. There's that belief system. And then now you're going to go down this path of just, you know, self-destruction. But for me, just as a whole, whether it's distributors and customers, is just being yourself and just being honest and just building a relationship and like taking yourself emotionally out of the outcome of it. You know, when you're talking to someone, or say you add a friend, your first mind is like, oh my gosh, I'd be great at this business. But then step back and be like, well, I wonder what they're like. Well, what's their favorite color? What's their favorite food? And then start asking them, just start talking to them like a human being. Like, we're humans. Like, we are social creatures. Like, we need to get back to our social creature, you know, root system. And then that's where all the money and all the success and all the riches and glory and fame will come eventually. So that's my biggest
Awesome.
thing.
So like what you guys heard him say, like merge that with the tip that I'm going to give you, because all of that is like 100% true. So like have that as like foundational, like, yes, you need to be like really personal with people. And like, if I had one tip to give, and like, I truly believe this, that this is what totally separates people making, and this is a quote from Christina Whiteley, but this is what separates people who are making thousands with this business and people who are making just a couple hundred with this business. And it literally comes down to follow-up. Like, I'm so serious, you guys. I did not understand follow-up for the longest time. I thought that it was just people were getting lucky, or their posts were just good, or they just had like the right people following them. I had no idea all the stuff that was going on behind the scenes, for all the follow-up they were doing, how many times they were getting left on red. And that's my biggest tip. And I'll tell you guys, like, don't be that person that when you hear about, oh, it's $49 to join, that's when you start asking people on your Facebook or your Instagram. And that's when you start messaging, because guess what? Those people, you're going to start seeing that fruit coming weeks after that. So if you start now and you become consistent now and you start gaining new potentials every single day, that is when you're going to start signing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people onto your team when there is an awesome promo, when there is extra products in your kit, when it's half off, when it's $20. So be consistent, plant those seeds every day, follow up, and then get ready for those promotions that we have for new distributors, because that's when you're going to be really like locking in people who are just ready to do this and ready to run.
That was incredible. I always tell people that our business is 3 months behind the work that we put in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so true. And imagine what you're doing now. If you are contacting, let's say we're just going to go 50 new people every single day, new people every single day, sorry, new contacts every single day, 50 times 30 is
150?
No,
I don't know.
1,500. 1,500 is 1,500. And if you do that 3 months consecutively, like really do 50 new people every single day, the fruits are going to harvest in that 3 months from then. So doing all this work and putting in the time and waking up early and going to bed late and sometimes sacrificing, I mean, I'm a single mom, and sometimes it's sacrificing not having dinner with him sometimes. And I'm like, here, go do this. I got to do this. But it's worth it because I'm starting a college fund for him as a single mom. You know, we went to look at couches today out of all things, and I've never been able to buy myself my own couch. And we were able to go there, and I was talking to the salesman today, and he was like, oh, are you going to finance this? And I was like, no, cash. And he was like, and it astonished me that he was so surprised that I said cash after telling him that I'm a single mom and blah, 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 and all this stuff. But because I made those sacrifices before, I can now see the harvest of it months later. And it's just going to continue to grow and grow if you're being consistent with it every single day. So thank you so much, you guys. I love you guys, and you guys know that. And I just love how our friendship is just growing, and how we can merge our teams even though we're not on the same team, and we learn from each other. Because I learned from you guys tonight, and hopefully you are going to learn from us too. But I'm going to pass the torch over to Tracy. Tracy, you ready? And Tracy, go ahead and let's spotlight Nicole, because Nicole is one incredible mama and friend and wife, and just soon to be wife. She's getting married this month. Like, she's got lots on her hands that she's pushing, and we're so proud of her. And she's not stopping, because she has got greatness literally written on her forehead. And I'm just so excited to see your journey just evolve, because it's gone so far, so well so far in a so short amount of time. So Tracy, it's all yours.
All right. Well, Tracy.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
Did you just mute me?
Sorry, I tried to mute myself.
First off, before she mutes me again, Rachael and Shawn, man, I love hearing you guys' story. I hadn't heard from you guys yet, and I was really looking forward to this. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to really be watching you guys. Love that story. I had to sit outside because my internet's not working very good. So if I scream and run because I got beetles hitting me, just ignore it. But I can't, being on my phone, I can't see everybody. So I can't see Nicole. I don't know where she's at.
I'm right here.
So,
hi.
Are you just darkened out?
No, maybe, but my video's on.
Just keep scrolling over.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
When Tracy's saying beetles, it's because she lives in like the boondocks, and she's got like a farm.
I do.
Cows, and that's why she's saying beetles, because she lives in the middle of nowhere.
Well, yeah, and our damn internet doesn't work half the time. So I'm just trying to find her so I can talk to her. But anyway, well, there's more people on here than I thought. Well, I can't find it.
I'm over here.
Well, Nicole, I'm trying to find you. Congratulations on going Ruby in
Thank
90
you.
days.
Yeah,
90 days. Now,
90.
that's amazing. That is so, but you had an awesome upline. Heather's one of my favorites. You're under Heather, aren't you?
I'm actually under Katie Poole. It's Taylor Kaufman that signed me up.
You got nothing but great upline. You're under a good one. So, so tell me, what made you, how'd you even find out about this company? What made you decide to even join?
Okay, so funny story. I actually did this before. I joined back in 2015. I was a freshman in college and I was looking just to try something different, make extra money. But the team I had back then in 2015, they were just, I just don't think that we were the right fit. I was also not comfortable with what they were telling me to do, which was go to people's houses and wrap them, people I don't know. And I just felt like, I said, that's just not me. You know, I tried it, and then I live in St. Louis. So downtown St. Louis, it's really not the best area to go to strangers' houses and wrap them. So I was feeling really uncomfortable. And then I signed my first distributor under me, which, by the way, if this doesn't tell you how yellow I am, I let them borrow $100 of my money to sign them up. And they quit within 2 weeks.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So I was really discouraged, and I was that person that just quit within 60 days. It was bad. And it wasn't the products, like the products were bomb. It wasn't the products. I just felt really discouraged. Like my team wasn't really helping me. I felt like I was a bother if I asked questions. And I actually met Taylor Kaufman when I was working at Piercing Pagoda at the mall as an assistant manager, and she was just buying jewelry from me. And I saw that she had something of It Works on. I think she was wearing a shirt, and I said, "Oh, you do It Works?" And she said, "Yeah, I do." And I said, "What rank are you?" And she was kind of surprised I knew what that was. And she was like, and I think at the time she was a double diamond when I met her. I think so. I think she was a double diamond. And, you know, I said, "Oh, that's cool." And we became Facebook friends. Well, I just was overwhelmed by all the happiness she kept posting. And I kept seeing products about losing weight again. And I said, you know what? Why not try it again? I really needed to, because after I had my baby, I had gained over 50 pounds. I was the heaviest I'd ever been. So I gave it a shot, and I said, okay, I'll just try the products again. Why not? And after I completed my 90-day challenge, she said, "Why don't you just become a distributor? Why don't you just sell these products?" And I said, "Girl, I was this person. Yes, I don't have the time." And I said, I'm a personal banker and I absolutely despise my job. I'm actually about to quit, by the way. And I was just really I was really thinking, there's just no way I can do it with this time. I said, I'm planning my wedding for May 18th. My fiance just started his new job at the time. Gets better. And, you know, I have a new job as a personal banker. So I just don't have that time. She said, just put in, start putting in a few minutes a day. It's not that much to join, and you get all these products. Just take a chance. She's like, I promise that this experience will be better for you. So I said, okay, why not? I'm already using the products anyway. Why not just spend a little bit more money and get more? I mean, I knew that there was no risk, though, because I've tried this before. So I knew it's not like, I was going to have to keep paying a bunch of money to keep going.
Right.
So, but my biggest stipulation, I said to her, I said, do not ask me to go to people's houses. Do not ask me to go to strangers' houses and wrap them, please. And she said, no, I do it strictly from social media. Now, with that being said, I am not opposed to wrap parties. I actually said that we should do a wrap party together, because they'd come to me and it's people I know. So I decided to do that, and I signed up, and my entire mindset just completely changed. I was someone originally whose glass was half empty, who was always half empty. There was, it was just like, I felt like every time something good happened, another shoe dropped. And then now there's been a lot of things bad happening in my life during this process, but I have been able to surpass so much of it just because of this team, because Taylor's been there.
You know why bad things are happening? Because you're doing something good. That's when the devil tries to cause all this havoc for you. That's when you know you're doing something good, when bad things are happening, because otherwise he wouldn't bother you. So that's awesome.
Oh
but now,
God.
how did you trust me, I have bad things. I'm the type of person too, where I feel like this is so good, something's going to happen, something bad is going to happen, or I'm just waiting for it. But it just gets better and better. So hang in there, it will get better. And now, how you went Ruby in 90 days? What were you doing? I'm sure I know I've got a bunch of my distributors on here who'd like to know how you're doing that. How did you do that? I mean, did you just jump right in? Did you do a bunch of training videos first? What did you do?
Well, so like I said, I started this company February 5th. And so originally I asked a couple of my friends to join as customers. I got one customer, and then I convinced, after a lengthy talk to my fiance, to join under me. I got him to join as a distributor. But I'll be completely honest, I was not being consistent with my 6 list in the beginning, partly because I guess I didn't understand it. I didn't even know how to post stories on my poll. Like I
didn't
never
either.
posted yeah, I never posted lives. I was the girl that shared cute cat and dog pictures on my page. That's it. That is it. I didn't post nothing. So I was not very consistent at first, and then I think my first check was only $16, and I did get my shopping spree with help. And then in March 22nd, actually, my fiance lost his job. We just had a little baby girl in September, and he just lost this job right before he was supposed to go up for a promotion, over something that was totally not his fault. But, he lost his job, and that same week, our entire basement flooded. So our basement was literally full of crap. Pardon me. Our entire basement was full of crap, literally everywhere. And on top of it, his car was breaking down. So when it rains, it pours. And our like I said, we're planning our wedding. We're getting married May 18th. So we expected that income. And I remember crying myself to sleep, scared, wondering, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I knew exactly what I was going to do. I messaged Heather. I messaged Taylor Kaufman. And I was just, I was like, oh my gosh, I know you guys talk about mindset all the time. What do? I said, I don't even know how to overcome this emotion. I don't know. And Heather was like really, really genuine. And she said, and she told me some of her personal experiences. And, it kind of helped. It really did. But after that, I said, I need to hurry up and like make more now, not tomorrow, now. So I just started, I signed more distributors, and I started making more of an income. Actually, my next check after that went from $16 to $85. And then within 3 weeks, I earned over $300 in bonuses. And that right there, our bill for the plumber, that was like a $260 expense. And when you lose more than half your income because your fiance lost his job, like that's an expense. So yes. I was able to pay for that though. And then it got to a point so far, I wasn't even Ruby yet, and I had made over $500 in bonuses. So with me making over that, you know, then I was like, oh my, thank you God. So I was able to buy the parts that my fiance needed for him to fix his car. So then that took care of that. And I was still able to buy something else I really needed for my wedding. It's a locket for my parents. My parents passed away a couple of years ago, and I want to wear a locket for my wedding. I was able to still pay for that. So
oh my gosh, I'm so yellow, and you're gonna make me cry.
Yeah, I'm yellow too. I'm yellow
I'm gonna
too.
be like, here, take my bonus check. Just take it.
Oh my God. Thank you. You're so sweet.
But
so
that's
you
awesome
know,
that you're still going at it.
yeah, and actually, so what also helped me too, I reached out. I'm usually, I don't like the person that asks for help, but I reached out to my mom's friends that were on my Facebook, and I said, hey, you know, because they're so sweet, they're wonderful, they're from Michigan, and I said, you know, I have this whole line of natural plant-based products. I would really love your feedback on them. Would you try these for 90 days for me and also help me promote? And they did. And in fact, one of them actually spent over $200 in BB. So that also helped me promote. Yeah, I just reached out to people I knew. I always tell like my personal team that I recently signed up, reach out to your family, reach out to your friends, ask them to help you, because I have no shame in that, because like it's something to help me grow my business. And it's also, they know me, and I'm not going to sell a product that, one, I don't personally use, or something that I don't believe in. Because another big thing, what I was looking for, I wouldn't even take medication after I had my daughter, even though I was in so much pain, because I don't like chemicals in my body. So with these products being so natural, and I was even able to take them while breastfeeding, which is like a humongous deal for me. So with me being able to take those, that was a whole other reason why I took them. And I explained that to my friends. I explained that to my potentials. And I was also able to help a mama like myself. She actually started out with oil. Now she's a distributor with me. And that was her main objection too, was natural products.
Then that's you just hit all of them the nail on the head. I hope all you new distributors are listening to what she said. First off, you do go to the people you know. Think of the people you're going to call if you broke down, if you had a flat tire, if you needed help. Who would you call? Those are the ones you go ask them to order something from you to help you get started. And then the other thing about what you're saying about you know, you just reached out to everybody. You didn't give up. You just kept going. You did exactly what you're supposed to do. You just keep posting. You personalize. You are using. I just told my team this before I hopped on the Zoom. Nobody's going to tell me this stuff doesn't work. I use it. I personally use it. I know this business works. I believe in it. You cannot sell something if you do not believe in it. They will not. They're buying you. They're not buying the product. They're buying you. So you're doing everything right. You're gonna go far. You're doing great.
That means so much.
What's your next step? Are you gonna shoot for diamond?
Diamond on or before May 28th.
Oh,
that is my goal.
Are you chartered for it?
No, I'm chartered for Emerald. I just got 2 more distributors. I'm chartered for Emerald. I just need 5 more distributors, so I'm gonna make that happen. And then it's all about volume.
You got this. You can do it. I'm going to be watching you on May 28th. I'm going to have Heather keep me up to date. Well, that is awesome. What training, real quick, because I know we're running out of time. What training did you, I know, because when I started, I was the person that absolutely told Megan, I'm not going to sell a damn thing. I just want the coffee, and I won't sell it. And I didn't do any trainings or anything. 3 months later, I finally was like, well, maybe I will. And then, so don't ever, anybody's listening, don't make the mistake of waiting until you see your own results. You're going to see them. but jump right in. But what trainings are you using? Like, do you do power hours? Are you doing a lot, just watching a lot of Zooms? Are you doing a lot of YouTube?
Yeah, so actually, I try to hop on every single Zoom that I possibly can. I even have gotten in trouble. I got caught at work listening to a Zoom at work with my AirPods. Yeah. Yeah, I got written up twice so far. So I listen to as many Zooms as possible. It's actually kind of like a personal development for me too. It's kind of like, I swear, it's like 2 in 1, because listening to people's stories, that is my development for me. Because like,
Right.
actually, Tracy, I've heard yours. This is my first time talking to you. I'm so excited. I was all nervous when I found out you were interviewing me like a celebrity.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
nobody, really.
Yeah, you are. So, you know, I was every time I've like heard your story, even, I was like, okay, she didn't even want to do this and she's doing it. Like, what the heck? What the heck? So I was like, I really need to do this.
And I'm a classic example. If that girl had not, this girl was in my keto group, shared a keto video that Megan did. I didn't know Megan. And I just happened to watch that video. And I searched Facebook for 2 days, messaged every Megan Carter. I wanted that coffee. That's how, you don't know who's going to see your post or who's going to see your videos. You don't know who's going to see it. Repost them. I'll repost a live video I did 3 days ago. I'll redo it again tomorrow. I don't care, because there's new people that might see it. They need somebody out there needs it. So don't be afraid to post. That's my just post. Keep it personal. Make people fall in love with you, and genuinely care. And you're going to go far. And you sound like you got all that. So you're going to do really good.
Thanks. Yeah.
So May 28th.
Yes. Yes. And I wanted to say too, so like personal development, I mocked in my head in the beginning, and it's really, oh my gosh, it's really helped me. I listened to it on my way to work, because like I said, I do not like my job. I will be quitting. That's another thing that this business has provided me with. My fiance is getting a job soon. He's had interviews, and we have come up with the decision for me to quit my job and do this full time. And he was skeptical, and now just from me ranking Ruby, the night I went Ruby and I like cried schoolgirl yell, you know, I'm so yellow. And he was like, wow, you know, babe, you did this. And he said, why don't you just quit your job? Do this. You can do this. And after the St. Louis event, like, it just really hyped me up. And I said, you know, I can totally do this from home. Yeah, I'm just Ruby right now, but that's a big deal to me, because I know that I can go up from here. And by the way, I don't think people take into account that $500 is just average. I technically made more than that, and I wasn't Ruby yet. Okay, that's just average. So
you can make a diamond check as a Ruby.
Yes, exactly. So like if you're just signing like a lot of distributors and you're placing 2 customers under them with 150 BB, you know, that's $100. And I cannot tell you that how much that helped me this past month, because like I said, my fiance lost his job, and this is just such a blessing. It's such a blessing, because I'm able to quit my job, be home with my daughter. I only get 15 hours with her 5 days a week during the week when I'm at work. 15 hours, that's it, because I get home at 6 if I'm lucky, and she goes to bed by 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and I need that time with her. So this business is providing me with that to stay home with her.
All right, Nicole, you got an hour to sign 5 more distributors at $49. You realize that?
Yep.
Okay, this is what I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to quit Zooming with us, and you're going to jump off here, and you're going to message everybody back, and you're going to go, look, $49. You're going to get $100 worth of products. I'm going to help you, show you how to get 4 more customers. You're going to get another $100. That's 30 days. Give me 30 days to show you what we can do. If you don't like it by then, walk away. You haven't lost anything. You got $200 worth of products. Bam, every time. I sign them all day long that way. They're not going to lose anything at $49. They're not going to lose anything at $99. But you got 30 days to show them what we do. They may surprise themselves, and a lot of them do. So you take this next hour, 50 minutes.
2 hours.
You
2
can get 5
hours.
distributors, and you
As
go diamond.
soon as I saw Tracy.
2 hours? Where are you?
Oh,
St. Louis, girl. St. Louis. Missouri.
Oh, that's right. You're where Taylor is.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
As soon as
Well, you got 2 hours in.
Tracy, you moved your body
You
and
what?
like this. You like moved your body, and I was like, oh, she's about to give her some type of a task. I know what she's about to do. And you said 5 people. And
That's what you're gonna do.
here we go. I love that.
You got 2 hours. You can get 10. But that's
Okay.
what you do. Just tell them that exactly like that. You've got the attitude. You can do it. And I want you to message me and let me know if you got anybody. But just talk to them and just tell them that. Give me 30 days and $49. I'll give you $200 in products and possibly $500 a month income. How can they turn that down?
So
That's
good.
true.
You're
gonna
do
post
it.
too.
That's cool.
Nicole, what you said just being Ruby, and whenever I hear people say I'm just Ruby, and
Yeah.
it's being Ruby is such a significant, huge accomplishment in this business, because that all of our promotions are made up of Ruby. So if you know how to go Ruby, you can go ambassador. And so this is just the fundamentals of getting these incredible 5-figure paychecks, $40,000 paychecks monthly. You know, as long as you can go Ruby, you can get to that ambassador state, because it's just a whole bunch of rubies underneath ambassador. And you said going to the St. Louis event. So I just want to really quickly, and I'm going to end it off here. Tracy, is there anything else you want to say before I go on to this little tangent of events?
No, the event thing. That's what changed me, was going to conference. So yes, that's definitely.
So I want to quickly just go over events and how important they are, because when you go to an event, you're surrounded by people who are like-minded, who are passionate, who want to see you be a better version of yourself. And you will find this incredible, it's like it boils out of you when you leave an event. So if it's one of the smaller events that we're having, if it's you just actually purchasing the event online for the $19 and you can watch it from your house, that's awesome. But if you're within the state of an event that's there, make that 8-hour drive, make that 10-hour drive, and make it to that event, because I'm telling you, when you make it to an event, it will change your business. It's just something that happens. And if you have a spouse that's in this business as well, take them with you, drag them along. I don't care what you have to do to make it happen. Pull out some favors, get them to that event, because they will see other men, or maybe you're in a different relationship, maybe they'll see other women that are in the business, to where they will see the vision for this business, and your business will skyrocket. And so start saving now for our green carpet, which is in September. Put away $5 here. Start saving those fast start bonuses, because when you go to one of our corporate events, especially the larger ones, it is just incredible. And the more you start saving now, the less you have to worry later. And set yourself a goal. You know, whether it's, if you know you're gonna have a flight that's $500, let's say, that's 5 fast start bonuses. It's 5 people you need to help start this business. It's 5 people's lives who you can change. So if you start thinking it in that way, I just got goosebumps when I said that. If you start thinking of it in that way, that you are going to be able to have this great opportunity and go to the events, but also you have this opportunity to change people's lives, it will start to shift your mindset. So I'm so proud of everybody that's on this, that you guys have all stayed on it. And this next couple months are incredible, and we're just like increasing this momentum even more. We're just riding the wave, and we're just continuing going up. So I love you guys. Thank you, Rachael. Thank you, Shawn. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Nicole, for taking the time and sharing and pouring into us. And I love all of you guys, and I can't wait to see all of you guys' promotions this next couple of months, and just to watch everybody's journey, because right now we're in the midst of the season in our business to where incredible things can happen. So don't miss out. Go work your business. Just like Tracy said, hop off this video. That's literally what I'm going to do after I put my child back to bed. But I'm going to get right back on my phone, and I'm going to message those people who I need to be following up with, taking the tips from Rachael about following up, and it's so important. And just keep following up and following up and following up.
Yeah.
So I love you guys. Hope you guys have a great night. And I will share this recording with everybody to get it all to you guys. And if somebody asked earlier about the picture of the men's retreat. If you actually just go up into your search bar on Facebook and you type in It Works Men's Retreat, you'll see a lot of different photos from the men's retreat. So you guys can find that as well. There's a video out there too. So, okay guys, have a great night. Bye.